Welcome to Section 7, Vuex Plugins and Libraries. In this section, we're going to be talking about how to build Vuex plugins, and also we're going to go over a few of the more popular Vuex plugins and quickly go over what they are and how you can use them to simplify your Vuex code. In this section, we're going to be showing how to build Vuex plugins. So you might be wondering, what are plugins? Plugins are really just functions that take in the store instance and then do whatever they want with that store instance. They can commit mutations, dispatch actions, or call some other helper methods that are on the Vuex API. These helper methods can allow you to do things like subscribe to mutations or subscribe to actions so that you can run custom code when certain mutations or actions get called. You can also dynamically register modules onto the store so that you can have your plugin state stored inside of the store. Alright, so let's go right into defining our own plugin. So I have a basic project here that I created with Vue CLI, and it has this store folder. So I'm going to go into the store folder and create a plugins.js file. Okay, and then I'm just going to export a function that takes in a store. Okay, and then in that function we'll have access to the store. But first we have to register that plugin with our Vuex store. So I'm in the store index.js file. You can see it's just a really basic store. It has a value, a way to set the value with the mutation, and something that fakes an asynchronous request in the fetch value action. And then it calls a set value mutation. So we're going to import our plugin. And then in the constructor, so where we have the state and the mutations and the actions, we'll create an array called plugins. And then we're just going to add our plugin into that array. And that's it. So now when the store loads up, then our plugin will run. Let's check that out. Oh. There we go. So you can see we have that string saying it got loaded. Let's start doing some more complex things. To start out, we're going to subscribe to all the mutations from the store. What that will do is make it so that whenever a mutation gets called, then our custom code gets called also. So we're going to put in a callback, and then that callback will get called whenever any mutation in the store gets called. So the callback function gets the mutation object, which has the mutation type and the mutation payload, and then it also gets access to the current state. So we'll just log that information. And then we'll log the current state using object.assign to get a copy of the state. Let's test this out. Okay, so we don't see anything in the log, and that's because we didn't call any mutations yet. But I put the app on the window, kind of like we did with the Cypress testing, so we can access the store right from here and call a mutation. There, mutation set value called, and then the current state is now value 4. And you can also see the payload there. You can also subscribe to actions. And it's really similar, so I'm just going to copy paste this code. So the action object is the type and the payload. And then you also get the state. There, so we have action fetch value called with payload undefined because we didn't pass in anything here. And the current state is value 10. And then after that, we see that the mutation set value got called. That's from within our action. And then you can see that the current state is changed. So you might be wondering, right here it has a current state, but you might want to get the current state after the action is called. And there's a way to do that too. So here, instead of just passing a callback function, we can pass in an object that has a function for before and a function for after. The before function gets called before the action is called with the action and the state, and the after function gets called after the action is called with the action and the state. And I'm going to delete this because it's now redundant. Okay, so before, it's going to show us the action type and the state, and then after, it's going to show us the new state. There we go. So we see state before, it was 10, and then the mutation got called, and then that's still from the mutation, and the state after was the new value. Okay, so one more thing that you might want to do is dynamically register a module. There, so I'm not going to write out the code for that. You can see here's a really simple example module where it just has this state, and you can call store.register module, then pass in the module name and the module, and also unregister module with the module name if you want to dynamically unregister that module later on. So here, you see that we dynamically registered the module, and if we go into the DevTools, alright, that's having trouble loading, but we can just access it because I defined it on the window. So the state has this module object, so that's the name of our module here. You could call it anything we want. There, so now it's called words, and it has that module state. Then if we unregister it, then you can see that it just has the value and it doesn't have that extra module state. Okay, that's it for this video.